William Lawrence, who is a professor of political science at the American University, and he joins me now live from Washington. Good to have you with us, William. So how concerned are you about the potential escalation of the situation in the Eastern Mediterranean?
Very concerned. We've had belligerent actions, including the naval maneuvers in cooperation with France and the increasing escalation of rhetoric. And so there's a great risk here of open military conflict, including the ramming of the vessels on Monday between Greece and Turkey. So all of these are acts of escalation, acts of belligerence, and the only way, obviously, to de-escalate is to de-escalate through negotiations.
And do you think this situation is something that can be resolved by talks, given Greece and Turkey's situations in the past?
Absolutely. There's decades of precedent here of negotiations succeeding and negotiations falling apart on a whole range of issues, from the Aegean Sea to borders in Cyprus to a wide range of issues. And certainly there's complicating factors now, including the Libya conflict, which was mentioned in the setup piece, and the recent signing of the deal between Greece and Egypt. But at the end of the day, there will have to be a negotiation, because there's no forced solution here under international law, as was well explained also in the setup piece. There are provisions under international law for mediation, but that's only to get to the negotiated solution, which could happen either with an international role or directly in a bilateral manner between Turkey and its neighbors.
And what role do other countries have to play in this, potentially facilitating some kind of mediation, perhaps?
Well, I don't think the EU can really play a role, because the EU has already taken a position in favor of Greece. And yet Germany took a role in mediating the last version of this latest dispute. And so clearly there's a role that Germany could play again. There's other possibilities of mediators. So the three levels here four levels: is a direct negotiation, a mediated negotiation, an arbitration, for which is provision under international law, or going before an international court. And Turkey has shown, as has Greece, that the direct negotiations bear more fruit than anything like an arbitration or an international court decision. Now, do they need a mediator? Probably. Would it be a European mediator? Probably. So the obvious choice is Germany again. But it could be any country, even the United States, which, of course, has its Hellenic Conference caucus in favor of Greece in the Senate. But certainly the executive branch of the U.S. government has a neutral position vis-a-vis positive relations with Turkey and positive relations with Greece.
Do you think it's possible then that Greece and Turkey may be able to sit down potentially without a mediator? And how do you see this playing out?
Well, I think they think they need mediation. I don't think direct talks are going to happen under these circumstances. So I think there probably would need to be a mediator agreed on by both sides. But of course, that's up to the parties. I mean, there's a long history here. And I think, for me, looking at the maps again today, what's so complicated about this is you have Greek islands right up against the Turkish coasts, claiming maritime boundaries as if they were Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific, 200 miles of claims. And so these are unresolvable by war, I think, because there are too many islands and too many claims. I think it's unresolvable by international law, which really doesn't provide for these disputes around islands and continental shelves. And even though Turkey follows the law of the sea, they're not. They didn't sign on to the treaty, and they don't recognize these island rights, which, again, in the past, Greece has made more limited claims over, and now they're making much more aggrandized claims. And so, really, we're on the cutting edge of what law can do here. And when you're at that point, then you have to negotiate. And this will have, I think, bearing for the rest of the world, whatever negotiation they come up with, because the geography of the region is so unique and not really unique, but so complicated, with all these Greek islands up against the border, that it would have precedents for conflicts all around the world over maritime rights.
Professor William Lawrence, many thanks indeed for your insight today.